How you guys doing? My name is Desmond Combs with Combs Premier Realty Group, and in this video I want to discuss with you guys the NACA program, the Neighborhood Assistance Corporation of America. We're going to discuss everything from how to get approved all the way down to what properties you can buy. Everything you need to know in order to get your home in 2023 using the NACA program. So just a brief rundown on what NACA is. NACA is a nonprofit, HUD certified home ownership organization that allows you to purchase a home without having down payment, closing costs, or without paying mortgage insurance on that loan. And so the type of properties you can purchase with this program are condos, townhomes, single family homes. You can even purchase multi-family homes up to 4 units using the NACA program. Now, the way this program works is basically the first step you have to do is you have to attend a workshop. Once you attend this workshop, you then get your NACA ID number. Now, these workshops happen all around the country. You have to check on the NACA website themselves to see where the next workshop will be in your local area. You can just go to www.naca.com and they will list it there. Put in your zip code and they'll show you within a certain amount of miles from your home where the next workshop will be. They're also virtual workshops, so you can attend those as well. So make sure that's the first step. You have to attend the workshop. Without the workshop, you can't even get started. And so once you attend this workshop, you'll get your NACA ID number. Now, the workshop is going to show you everything about the NACA program. You're going to meet the counselors. You're going to talk to the mortgage lenders that are involved with NACA, and they're going to go over the entire program, so you'll know everything about the home buying process. A little bit of financial literacy, everything you need to know about purchasing a home and keeping your home, you'll learn in this workshop. And so you definitely have to start there. And so once you do that, then you can move on to the next step, which is going to be receiving your NACA ID number, logging into the portal, uploading all your documents, income documents, everything they ask for in the portal. You'll upload that stuff before you set your appointment with your NACA counselor. Now, this intake session with your counselor is where you're going to meet your counselor and they're going to go over all of the documents that you submit. And with those documents, they're going to basically see where you at. And so you have to have 2 years of I wouldn't say good payment history or whatnot, especially for the second year. So you could have some mishaps in your second year, but you're going to have a letter of explanation for everything that was late, everything that was missed during that 12 to 24 month period. But for the most recent 12 months, they want to make sure that you have a perfect payment history. So just know that going in, if you've missed anything within the last few months or whatnot, then your time clock, you're gonna need 12 months of clean payment history in order to get approved for the next step to get NACA qualified. So just know that going into it, that kind of dictates the timetable of how the program is gonna work for you. Your payment history, not necessarily your credit score. They don't really take your actual score into account. They just look at your ability to pay and how you pay on time. So everything that's reported on your credit, that's what they're looking at. They're looking to make sure you're paying on time and you have the ability to save. So once you meet with your counselor, they'll go over all those documents with you. Make sure you upload the most recent documents. They need the most recent documents every time. So I would just make that a force of habit. Every Friday, I would just upload fresh documents. Even if you haven't got paid again, I would just make it a force of habit. Every Friday, just upload fresh documents, so they're already there. And once you get through this part, you move on to the next phase. This is where you're gonna basically get your pre-qualification. Once you get your pre-qualification, they'll sign you up so you can attend every Thursday they hold, it's called it's basically a home buyers workshop again, but this is where you're gonna learn about the purchase program. You're gonna get your affordability letter, your pre-qualification letter. That's gonna let you know how much you can afford, how much they're gonna approve you for, and they'll go over the home buying process again. And they'll also introduce you to NACA has their own real estate agents, but you can also use outside realtors like myself who are familiar with the program and they can help you throughout the process of this program. And so once you get through that counseling session, now you basically have your pre-approval letter, and now we can go home shopping. We could kind of identify the property that you want. Once we identify that property for you, we put in an offer. We make sure that that home is basically going to be a good home for you. We're going to negotiate everything in your favor to make sure that we're getting you the best possible deal for that home. And once we get that home under contract, we also have to make sure that there's some things set in place in that contract to kind of protect you. You know, we're going to make sure that we have to get an appraisal done, an inspection done. So if things come up in the inspection, we have to get those things addressed before we move on. If the appraisal comes back bad, we have to get that stuff addressed before we moved on. So we put all that stuff in the contract to protect you, to make sure that we're going to get the best possible deal for you at the end of the day. And so once we get the house in the contract, of course, we have to get the house inspected. We're going to get you a NACA approved inspector to go out to inspect the home. We're going to get an inspection report. Everything that comes back wrong with the house, we're either going to try to get the sellers to fix it, or NACA also has built in where you could actually finance the repairs on the house. So just know that that stuff can be taken care of. So it doesn't have to be a perfect home. We just want to make sure it's the perfect home for you. And so once the inspection comes back, of course, now that we move on, and we have to get the house appraised. Once the house gets appraised, if everything comes back good, and throughout this process, you know, next step is going to be, you know, them going over your documents again. But throughout the process, like I said, every Friday, make it a habit to submit your new documents, because you don't want to get to the appraisal part of this process and then they go over your documents and, you know, something happened, something changed. So you want to make sure that everything is staying consistent. You're consistently working, you're consistently saving, and you're not doing anything drastic to your profile, because anything that draws a red flag to them, they'll pull the trigger on this and they'll shut this whole thing down, right? So we want to make sure that you're staying consistent. If we give you an approval, whatever you did to get that approval, you don't do anything different. Once you get the house, you know, you can kind of, you know, relax a little bit, but until you close on the home, make sure you don't do anything drastic. So once we submit the documents, refresh the documents, and they go over your documents again, they give you the okay to go ahead, clear to close. The next step is we're going to meet at the NACA. Well, we're going to go through a final walkthrough. The final walkthrough is basically we're going to go to the house probably the day before, maybe the morning of, and we'll go through the house and we'll make sure everything that we saw that was a problem, that was supposed to be addressed, was either fixed by the seller, or it was addressed, you know, as far as credits towards closing, where we're going to get that stuff repaired after we close on the home. But we'll do a final walkthrough and make sure that everything is okay with the house. And once we approve the final walkthrough, the next day we'll go over to the NACA office, the local NACA office in your area, and we'll close on the house and you'll get the keys to your new home. And so after you close on the home, of course, there's some follow-up counseling sessions that you can do, financial literacy. They stay with you pretty much the whole time you have a NACA loan. So anytime you need assistance, help with anything, the NACA family is going to be there for you the entire time. So just know that you're not alone in this purchase process as long as you're using the NACA program. So that's the NACA program in a nutshell. You know, there's some other little minute details about the program, but for the most part, that's how the program works. So if you need more information about the NACA program, or you want to use me to help you through the NACA program, feel free to reach out to me. My name is Desmond Combs with Combs Premier Realty Group, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.